Hey guys, thank you for watching the SlatRock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified every time we post a new video. And if you've already done so, just make sure that it's still active. Today we present you with top 20 recent examples of Vince McMahon getting upset backstage. Number 20. Goldberg KOs himself. Despite being one of the WWE's biggest signings, Goldberg and Vince McMahon have had a complicated relationship. After leaving in 2004 with very few positive things to say about the chairman, Goldberg returned in 2016, with fans hopeful that the pair had made amends. While the company clearly supported Goldberg's return, having the former WCW star become Universal Champion, Goldberg's pre-match ritual of headbutting his door did frustrate the chairman. Trying to get into the zone, the former World Heavyweight Champion knocked himself out and cut his forehead, meaning he could barely cut an important promo ahead of his Universal title match, leaving the boss and everyone backstage very annoyed. Number 19. Reigns breaks the wellness policy. It's no secret that for several years the WWE promoted Roman Reigns as their next top star. With his finisher, the Superman Punch, Reigns was portrayed much like the Man of Steel himself, always fighting for good, showcasing near superhuman strength, and amassing a legion of fans along the way. This is why it was so shocking in 2016 when the next top babyface of the company was suspended for violating the company's wellness policy, a violation that deeply disappointed the chairman. Returning after his 30-day suspension, Reigns was quickly removed from the top spot on Raw, losing to Finn Balor in a move clearly done to teach him and the rest of the locker room that nobody was above the rules. Number 18. Fans don't back Bayley. Once one of the WWE's most beloved stars down in NXT, Bayley's time on the main roster has been mixed to say the least. While she's been Raw Women's Champion, her reign ended abruptly and she was given an opportunity to regain the gold at SummerSlam 2017 before going down with an injury. Hoping to gain some sympathy, the company sent the Huggable One out to reveal her injury and that she would be unable to compete. Instead of the fans' support, however, Bayley was met with very unsympathetic fans, reportedly angering the boss, who fed lines to Corey Graves, describing the situation as Bizarro World to convince fans at home that this response was far from normal. Number 17. The Elite Invasion. The former Bullet Club, The Elite, has a huge fan base, and rightly so. Comprised of some of the most talented stars in wrestling today, the group have entertained millions of fans in the ring, as well as with their own series, Being the Elite. It is this show that got them in trouble in 2018 when the Elite decided to host their own Raw invasion, similar to the famous DX invasion of WCW 20 years prior. Hosting Being the Elite in the car park of the arena hosting Monday Night Raw, the group certainly made their presence known, with WWE writer Jimmy Jacobs going out to see some old friends. Irate, McMahon quickly fired Jacobs and followed up with a cease and desist to the group, banning them from performing the Too Sweet hand gesture. Number 16. Owens vs. Jericho at WrestleMania 33. Heading into WrestleMania 33, one of the hottest stories was of former friends Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens, who had split after the infamous Festival of Friendship. While they battled over Y2J's United States Championship, the expected plan was to have the pair face off for the Universal title, though the change was probably for the best, as McMahon revealed he was very disappointed in the match between the two Canadians. What made things worse was that the boss did not sugarcoat things when Owens, who had just won the Star-Spangled title, asked for the boss's thoughts on the match. McMahon's brutal honesty was even captured on the WWE Network, allowing fans to see McMahon at his very worst. Number 15. Shinsuke Nakamura drops John Cena. Shinsuke Nakamura and John Cena have had two very different paths to the WWE, but no one can deny that both have become huge stars. Joining SmackDown Live in 2017, Nakamura was certainly booked strongly, though nearly cost himself when he accidentally dropped John Cena on his head. Battling in the main event, the two legends waged an epic war which saw the King of Strong Style botch an exploder suplex, with the 16-time world champion landing on his head. While the former NXT champion was quick to apologize and Cena quickly shrugged it off, The botch left the WWE chairman furious backstage about the issue, though, fortunately, Nakamura was not punished. Number 14. The LaVar Ball segment. While some fans may not agree with the PG rating of WWE, the family-friendly show has allowed for some incredible sponsorships and shocking guest stars. But in June 2017, one controversial situation surrounding LaVar Ball pushed the family rating to the limit. Appearing on Miz TV with his sons Lonzo and LaMelo, Ball failed to click with the WWE's resident A-lister, at one point taking his shirt off to intimidate the former WWE champion. This wasn't even the worst part of the segment, as that would be when LaMelo was heard using a slur on the mic on live TV, forcing WWE to hastily issue a public apology to those watching, as well as any offended sponsors. Number 13. Strowman breaks the code. Professional wrestling is an industry built on respect, and for decades there has been an unwritten code on what can and can't fly. Key rules that it seems every promotion chooses to follow include shaking hands with everyone in the locker room, as well as making sure you stay until the end of the show, even if you're in the first match. These rules show a clear respect for the business, but sometimes a superstar won't follow them, and while they may not receive an official punishment, it can certainly hurt their cred. In early 2018, reports claimed that Braun Strowman had started to flout some of these rules, leaving the chairman frustrated after spending plenty of time and effort in the monster among men. Number 13. Enzo Amore shows up. It's not just current superstars who can get under the boss's skin, but sometimes even a former employee can do just that. One former superstar who was able to stick it to McMahon was Enzo Amore, who was fired in early 2018 after it was claimed that Amore knew of sexual assault allegations against him but didn't tell the company. While Amore has since left wrestling behind to focus on his rap career, the Certified G did appear in the crowd at Survivor Series 2018 and caused a scene before being ejected and banned from the arena. McMahon was rightly livid at the disrespect from the former Cruiserweight champion and reportedly asked Amore's ex-girlfriend Liv Morgan to pursue a restraining order against her ex. Number 11. Vince gets emotional. While the majority of stories on this list show McMahon losing his cool against his own superstars, fans should remember that the chairman is just as human as you and I. And when his son Shane returned to the company after a near 7-year absence, the elder McMahon was able to show an emotional side fans had never seen before. These emotions came to a head following Shane's Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 32 against The Undertaker, as while Shane was unable to slay the dead man, he was able to share a powerful moment with Vince post-match. Embracing his visually emotional father, it was clear that the younger McMahon would always have a home in WWE by his father's side. Number 10. Owens and Zayn make a run for it. Sadly, not the first time that the former Universal Champion has been on this list, it seems Kevin Owens has a habit of upsetting the boss, this time alongside Sami Zayn. During a tour of the United Kingdom, the two Canadians were supposed to be on the receiving end of a beatdown by the New Day, but instead ran from the trio, going directly against the chairman's orders. As punishment, the pair were kicked off the tour, leaving the UK fans to be left without two of SmackDown Live's most talented stars, showing just how mad McMahon was about the situation. Number 9. Big Cass crosses the boss. When WWE decided to split Big Cass and Enzo Amore, fans wondered how the 7-foot star would do on his own. Joining SmackDown in 2018, many fans were surprised when the former NXT star was put into a high-profile feud with the recently unretired Daniel Bryan, though things quickly turned south. Bringing out a little person to mock Bryan's height, the plan was for Cass to use a big boot, though was specifically instructed not to go further. In a brazen act of defiance, Cass continued his assault on the little person, and after reports of attitude issues and being intoxicated in public, Cass realized just how wrong he was to cross the boss. Number 8. The Rock calls CM Punk. He may be the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, but even The Rock is capable of getting on Vince McMahon's bad side. When the Brahma Bull came to Raw to film Paige's biopic Fighting With My Family, one scene relived the night where Paige defeated AJ Lee, played by SmackDown's Zelina Vega, and received loud CM Punk chants from the crowd. Acknowledging these chants, the Great One called Punk live for the fans, which quickly caused McMahon to lose his cool. Fortunately for Rocky, Punk didn't pick up the phone, as things could have been much worse if the best in the world was able to make his presence known in WWE after quitting in 2014. Number 7. Neville refuses. As one of the longest-reigning NXT champions of all time, many fans expected Neville to have an equally impressive time on the main roster. However, in October 2017, Neville made major headlines for the wrong reason, as he reportedly walked out of the company and refused to appear on Raw. Rather than punish the English star with a heavy fine, an irate McMahon chose to freeze Neville's contract, meaning they could keep him working for them for an extended period of time without having to book him. Losing a lot of momentum with the fans, Neville was finally released in August 2018 and recently signed with AEW, where he hopes his new bosses will be on his side. Number 6. AJ Styles gear rips. In wrestling, accidents are bound to happen, and when you add in weapons such as tables, ladders, and chairs into the mix, the chances of something going wrong only increases. Competing at TLC 2016, AJ Styles found this out the hard way when his ring gear got caught on something sharp during his WWE title match against Dean Ambrose, causing a very embarrassing hole, exposing the Phenomenal One's rear end. According to James Ellsworth, who made his presence known in the climax of the match, Vince McMahon was fuming backstage, demanding that every camera operator work carefully to avoid showing the phenomenal buttocks live on pay-per-view for everyone to see. Number 5. The Monster confuses Vince. When a wrestler is unable to follow basic instructions, it's never good. But when that superstar can't follow an instruction from Vince McMahon himself, you're asking for trouble. Braun Strowman found himself in this situation when he first started performing as a singles star, as the advice the chairman was giving Strowman was being ignored time after time. As McMahon grew madder, it was Triple H who helped save the greatest Royal Rumble winner, explaining that this is only Strowman's 15th match and he was still very new to wrestling terminology. This helped to calm Vince down, who from then on took a gentler tone with Strowman, who has gone on to become one of Monday Night Raw's biggest stars. Number 4. Ambrose vs. Rollins at TLC. Sometimes a match just doesn't pan out as it should, and Seth Rollins vs. Dean Ambrose at TLC 2018 was definitely an example of this. Despite both men working together well for years, this latest match just didn't click with fans, who began chanting "boring" and "Becky" throughout the contest. This left McMahon incredibly mad at the gorilla position, both with the response from the fans as well as the match quality which had elicited such a response. Ambrose and Rollins have been two of WWE's top stars for many years now, and it's clear that McMahon has very high expectations of them, expectations that at TLC 2018 were simply not met. Number 3. Using the term pro wrestlers. As the largest professional wrestling company in the world, you wouldn't think there'd be a major problem with the talent on air being described as pro wrestlers. Instead, though, McMahon is adamant on the term never being used on air, as he wants commentators to use terms specific to WWE, such as superstars. This caused a major problem for the Revival, who referred to themselves as pro wrestlers in a promo on Raw, blissfully unaware of just how much trouble they had gotten themselves into. Livid, McMahon quickly punished the former NXT Tag Team Champions, having the pair lose countless matches, which in turn has reportedly made the team of Dash and Dawson want out of their contracts. Number 2. Brock Lesnar goes off script. The WrestleMania 34 main event between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns was not one to remember. A rematch of their bout 3 years earlier, the only memorable spot came when Lesnar threw an elbow that busted the big dog wide open, which was completely off script. While fans may have appreciated seeing the Crimson Mask, Vince McMahon clearly didn't, with blood being banned as part of the company's PG rating. Following the match, the Beast Incarnate and McMahon got into a heated argument backstage, ending with Lesnar hurling his retained Universal Championship at the boss as he stormed off. Number 1. Titus O'Neil. The most public example of Vince losing his cool, this moment, alongside his trip at the Greatest Royal Rumble, will probably be what most people remember Titus O'Neil for after his career. After a passionate retirement speech from Daniel Bryan in 2016, the Titus Worldwide founder pulled Vince McMahon to one side, infuriating the chairman, who suspended Titus immediately. While O'Neil claimed he only did so to allow Stephanie to go first, Vince was not having it, and only reduced his suspension from 90 to 60 days after a mass outcry from fans. Reports have also claimed that Triple H had to talk McMahon out of firing the former tag team champion on the spot, showing the entire locker room that you should never get on the boss's bad side. Well guys, that's our list. Can you think of any other examples of Vince McMahon getting upset backstage that we didn't cover here? Drop us a comment below and let us know. If you like this video, don't forget to check out our previous video, 16 ex-wrestlers you probably didn't know now work backstage. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. If you did like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and that bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.